It's a pleasure to have you here. The details now. 5 passengers died on the spot, while 7 suffered injuries after a head-on collision between 2 passenger vehicles, a Ford Transit and a Toyota Hiace at Gomoa Accident on the Kaswa Cape Coast Highway. Now, Issa Abubakar was a passenger on the Toyota Hiace. He's been telling JoyNews what he witnessed.
Na free Kaswa yeba sanko Cape Coast. Enti yeba ne hu ya ne se Ford driver no or you overtaking.
We're coming from Kaswa to Cape Coast. All of a sudden, we saw the Ford driver trying to overtake a car. Immediately he came into our lane, he ran into us, causing our car to spin and face backwards.
You heard there a survivor. Now, medical superintendent of the Apam Catholic Hospital, Dr. Paul Acha, says the 7 people who were in critical condition are stabilized, but they need to be referred to a bigger hospital. However, no hospital is ready to admit them due to lack of space.
2 drivers are well. 14 people were involved. 5 passed, and then 7 had serious injuries. We are having difficulty with the referral, hoping to get express space in other places. But if we get a best space, we'll refer them to the according health facilities. But they are all stable. The 7 are stable, currently stable. We've managed them, but 5 were brought in dead, so they are at the morgue. So they are all men. All men. Would, if they can do it dual carriage, it will really help, because the head-on collision, if it was a dual carriage road, there will not be any head-on collision for there to be such a mass road traffic accidents.
Meanwhile, Apam District Fire Commander DO1 Adolf Ankomanyama has described the accident as one of the most horrible he's witnessed.
7:06 p.m. we were called that there was an accident around Gomoa Adams and Gomoa Accident. Actually, when we went there, it was very horrible. It was headlong collision. Ford Transit and a Toyota Hiace. So we were actually, when we got there, we saw that those at the front, both cars, they were all trapped. But we observed that those at the Ford Transit, they were already gone. They were dead. And those at the Toyota Hiace, they were crying. So we have to make sure that we work fast. So we did the curtains and everything, and we were able to release them and gave it to the ambulance. Before we went to the Ford Transit, to also make sure that we release the dead bodies and give it to the ambulance. Taking and was speeding must stop, because according to eyewitness, it was an unnecessary overtaking by, I think, the Ford Transit or so. So actually, when we went, it had already happened, and the cause and everything will be left for the police. But that is what we know it happened. It's overtaken. So we are pleading with the drivers that this road is very hot road, so they have to make sure that they reduce speed, and they will be very much careful when driving.
So this accident occurred some 14 hours after the Chichirere one, and for many this is just telling on the poor road safety situation we have in the country. We'll be getting more from a correspondent for our sister station, Adum TV. We understand from eyewitnesses that this accident, the Gomoa one, was as a result of overtaking and overspeeding, and as you can see, the impact tells even about the speed that these vehicles may have been running at. We'll be getting Kofi shortly. Or we would like to find out, one, if the injured persons have been able to go to the bigger facilities as the doctors at the Apam Catholic Hospital required. Earlier, we were told that they couldn't do that because there was no space. Kofi joins us now. Hello, Kofi. Thank you for joining the show. Now, have the injured persons been successfully transferred to a bigger facility? Kofi, sorry, we can't hear you. Can you kindly unmute your device? All right, Kofi, so I was asking if the injured persons have been successfully transferred to a bigger facility.
Venice, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If you can, kindly let us know if the injured persons have been successfully transferred to a bigger facility.
Yeah, they have just referred two of them to 37 military hospital.
Do we know the degree of injuries those persons suffered?
Yeah, according to the medical doctor, the fracture injuries are some of them their legs will have been breakdown, so they need to refer them to test service so that they can treat them. According to them, they don't have the equipment to take care of. Bones injuries. As I don't know how to put it, but they don't have the equipment to take care of them.
Okay, Kofi. So we were told earlier that 5 persons had died. The death toll rose to 6. And this person who passed on, do we know who the person is? Identity?
Yeah, yesterday 5 died on the spot. They were all men, and unfortunately, that one of them was a young guy who just completed 3 SHS. He just wrote his final exams, so he was on the way to come and visit his father at Kaswa in the central region, and he died. He's among of those people who died, and one woman also passed on this morning. So yesterday 5 people died on the spot, and this morning another woman died.
Okay. Okay. We'll be coming.
I have.
We'll be coming shortly. Mr. Cecil Gabra is also on Zoom. We'll be talking about road safety and talking about our transportation system as a whole. I'll introduce him shortly. But Kofi, let me wrap up with you now. The spot where this accident occurred, do we know if it is prone to accidents? Tell us more about the nature of the road.
You see, from Kaswa to Cape Coast Highway, from Kaswa to Cape Coast has become one of the accident prone areas from Poti Jansen, Dominasi Jansen, Poti Jansen, Guduata, Ochako Jansen, Apam Jansen, Minibat Jansen, Gomoa Dam. There are several accidents happening on that road. And you see, that place, we were surprised that this thing happened because there was that place very plain and the road was very smooth.
Well, we seem to have a challenge with your line, Kofi. But let's speak to Mr. Cecil Gabra, who's a road transport consultant. I understand that we just lost him, but we will try and establish a better line with him. I understand Kofi's line is good now. So, Kofi, you were telling us about the nature of the road where the Gomoa accident occurred.
Yeah, that place, according to police, they have recorded over 10 accident cases at that stretch of the road. That portion of that section of the, that exactly what that place. They have recorded about 10 accident cases. But what they are calling for dualization of that from Cape Coast to Kaswa Road. According to the medical superintendent and the police and the fire service, they said if the government is able to construct, construct the whole road, it will reduce the accident, because sometimes they are even tired of going to accidents and they are very tired of rescuing people, because a lot of accident cases are being recorded day in day.
All right.
Stretch of the road.
Okay, Kofi, thank you very much. Kofi Ejay is Central Region correspondent for our sister station, Adum TV. Now,